Peace, peace, Queen of Soul, here to align those chakras. And today's subject is the solar plexus. We've already covered the root, we've already covered the sacral. Now for the solar plexus. Now the solar plexus is located 3 fingers above the belly button, right below the bottom of your chest cavity. It is also called Manipura, and the color of the chakra is yellow. Now, what is the solar plexus? The solar plexus represents willpower, confidence, just your physical energy, and it's really the main chakra that our spiritual self is connected to our physical self. That's where the cord lines up to the solar plexus chakra. So if you've ever heard of people telling you like, oh, when you astral travel, be careful because you can disconnect from your body and get lost in the astral realm, that is false. You're always going to have this cord connecting your spirit to your body. Obviously until you pass away. But yeah, so this is one of the chakras that a lot of us tend to not work on or have enough energy going on in, where it tends to come into, the lack of energy, the lack of confidence, the lack of willpower to move forward, to make decisions. This is where the fire is connected to us, where the fire is fueled from. So obviously the element for the chakra is going to be fire. It's ruled by the planet Mars and the sun. I know I did say the root chakra is also ruled by Mars, which it is, but some people also say Saturn. So I feel like these two planets both work with both of those planets. When it comes to the organs, it works with the digestive system, the gastric and hypogastric plexi. It works with the pancreas gland, and it helps us in regards with the process of carbohydrates. This is where, again, personal power lies. So if you're lacking that will to live out your life, to make decisions, to move forward, the solar plexus is where you need to work on. Now let's talk about a little behavioral characteristics. This is where, for balances, it helps boost the self-esteem. This is where respect for others, calmness, initiative, friendliness, joy, confidence again. When it's unbalanced, you feel threatened, your self-confidence feel threatened, you invite others, you're more concerned about how others see you, how others view you. Some more imbalances are excessive control, authority over your environment and people. The opposite in cases of deficiency or blockages in the sacral, so feeling helpless, irresponsibility, seeing and living through a spreadsheet of plus and minuses while losing sight of the whole picture. So if you're always focusing on what's positive and what's negative, you're not really allowing things to just be, to allow things to just flow. So this is where the solar plexus needs some work. If you're picking and choosing what deserves light, what deserves negativity, what deserves to be categorized as positive, or what's negative, this is when you're living in an imbalance, because everything is out of perspective. So literally anything can be positive or negative, but it's really not our place to judge these things, but it's our place to just really figure out what builds our energy and what does not build our energy. So we need to start living in a perspective of flowing and allowing, and not coming from a place of, oh, this is positive, or oh, this is affecting me negatively. Obviously, yes, pay attention to those things, but don't ever really look at things in that light. Just, it's whether or not it builds or lowers your frequency. Being manipulative, misusing power, lack of clear direction, lack of purpose or ambition, making plans or having a lot of ideas without finding a way to realize them. Let's see what else. Ways to strengthen your solar plexus and your yellow energy is awakening lost curiosities, developing your photographic memory, doing puzzles, hobbies, regenerate your sense of smell. So using aromatherapy or oils or incense, things that really open up your sense of smell. Wearing gold, any type of gold, especially bracelets or necklaces, or carrying yellow gemstones as amber, topaz. We have citrine, one of my favorites, tiger's eye, and because I'm a Leo, pyrite. Pyrite is what we call, or what old civilizations have called, fool's gold, because it's a little harder to see the color in certain lightings, or depending on the type of pyrite that you get, you see the color more. But explorers once thought that pyrite was gold, and they was selling it, using it like if it was gold, but it was really pyrite. So now it also carries the name fool's gold. Pyrite is an amazing stone, because again, it's one of those stones that does not absorb energy, but it just deflects it. And it is so powerful. It is one of the best stones for grounding, protection, especially again because it doesn't absorb energy, it deflects it. It's perfect for building that solar plexus, that willpower, that energy. It really helps give you that boost. Yeah, so if you really want to connect to this chakra more, it's better to be outside in the sun, especially during the summer is the best time to connect to your solar plexus. Or just in general, just basking in the outdoors, because it's really allowing your confidence and for energy to really fill up. Because if you've ever read the Celestine Prophecy, or if you've been learning about ways to really just absorb energy in the proper way, it's through nature. We shouldn't absorb energy from other people or circumstances or situations. We need to absorb energy from the universe and from the nature. So when it comes to the universe, our spiritual sun is actually Sirius. So looking at Sirius, connecting to Sirius is one of the best ways to really energize your spirit. And again, just being outdoors. Nature is the natural processing way and the natural way that we are supposed to download energy. Which is why being on a plant-based diet, and I'm gonna Ralph you guys, Infinite Water you guys, and say the 7-day vegan challenge, eating more plant-based, you bring way more energy into your body because you're absorbing and you're eating and consuming alive plants, alive cells, alive beings. I'm going to call plants beings too because they have energy. Some of them do or do not claim genders. They have their own frequency. They have their own types of consciousness. So it's really just about consuming things that are alive. Things with electrolytes that's going to really provide your body with what you need. So yeah, yellow is associated with being happy, joyful, carefree, optimism, idealism, hope. It's a symbol of, the yellow is a symbol of courage and personal power, intellect, creativity, happiness, persuasion. It has the power of persuasion. It's associated with cowardice, healing. In healing, yellow is used to promote clarity of thought. So yellow is also very associated with our thought pattern, which again is why it's affiliated with moving forward, because it's where part of our gut feeling comes from. So when people are speaking of their gut feeling or having certain irritable feelings about certain circumstances, is because the solar plexus is also intellectual. Why your intestines are, when you look at your intestines, they pretty much look like a brain, but bigger. It's also used for intellect, confidence, divination, charm, communication, travel, movement, happiness, self-esteem again, attraction. It also pertains to the spleen and life energy. It is the color of awakening, optimism, easygoing nature, inspiration, and intelligence again. Um, a little bit about the different shades of yellow. Pale yellow is psychic and spiritual awareness, optimism, hopefulness, positivity. Bright yellow is more for fear of losing, control, respect, power, struggle, and controlling personality, and it helps in business. A clear metallic gold is more of a spiritual activation, inspirational awakening. And then darker yellows are going to be more, well, darker colors in general are going to have more of a lower vibrational effect on you. So darker colors are going to be more of fatigue, stress, and especially from studying or trying to learn something or everything at once. Let's see what else we have here. Some gifts of the yellow. The solar plexus is a healthy digestion, strong core body, healthy eating patterns, vibrant energetic radiating health, and physical strength again. Some challenges would be diabetes, chronic fatigue, hypertension, digestive disorders of the liver, pancreas, and gallbladder, fibromyalgia. On a mental level, some gifts are mental courage, intellect, ability to simulate knowledge, proactive, having reasoning, and responsible and reliable. Some challenges on a mental level is going to be being cynical, sarcasm, confusion, blaming of others, competitiveness, and the need to have the last word. On a So the first one I said was the physical level. This was a mental level. And on an emotional level, the gifts are healthy self-esteem, warm in personality, confidence, sense of humor, playfulness, sense of personal power, balanced emotions, and healthy ego strength. Healthy ego strength. So, when it comes to consciousness, being egotistical is the complete opposite. But of course, we need to have a bit of everything and everything, right? So there is a such thing as healthy ego, but your ego should be very small. When you operate more out of an egotistical way, you are going to be more on the negative side of the solar plexus. So instead of being more powerful and will-powered, you're going to be more on the draggy side, where it comes down to selfishness, self-centeredness, shame, domination, manipulation, stubbornness, low self-esteem, and tempered tantrums. So it's highly important that we learn how to figure out what ways we are being egotistical and what ways we aren't. And on a spiritual level, some gifts are deep self-knowledge, deep personal power, stemming from intrinsic value, freedom of choice, open to the greater life, the spirit, fearlessness, sensing everything is a lesson for personal and spiritual growth. So applying everything that you experience and figuring out what lessons it has for you and how it affects your spiritual, mental, and emotional growth. And then some challenges on a spiritual level. It's going to be stuck in ego, unable to see, feel, or connect with the greater of life. Fear of death, feelings of worthlessness, and unable to accept spiritual lessons as they come to you. So this is where we, as a generation, definitely need to make sure that the solar plexus is where it's at and on the best level that we can possibly have it on, because this is where we need the strength to really come through so that we can thrive as a generation, thrive as a species, thrive as a race, and thrive on a mental, emotional, and spiritual level, because again, this is where the energy flow comes from. This is where the willpower comes from. So it's going to determine how your life plays out. So the solar plexus is definitely important, and I mean, they're all technically important at the end of the day, but they all have importancy in different categories and places in our lives. So the solar plexus is pretty self-explanatory. It's how we connect. It's how we move forward. It's how we manifest. It's how we really get the best out of life. So I'm going to read just a little passage that I've gotten together about the solar plexus, and then I'm going to close it off there. So no discussion of the solar plexus chakra color would be complete without talking about self-esteem, your fundamental power. So what is self-esteem? Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. It is your thoughts and feelings about yourself. For example, I feel good about myself. I am kind and passionate. I am competent. I like my body. Healthy self-esteem means that you have basic trust in yourself, that you have a sense of self that does not fall apart when you are faced with challenges of things and do not get your way or go your way. When you have a healthy self-esteem, you know that it is okay to make mistakes and that you can learn from mistakes. The level of your self-esteem determines how you behave in life, how you interact with others and spouses, children, friends, coworkers, authority figures, and strangers. Being an indigo child, though, it is very, very hard to respect authority figures because we come programmed with certain things being the natural, proper way to live life and to treat others. So we tend to get very irritable with authority figures who take advantage of people, that take advantage of people's emotions and well-being. How you treat authority figures and strangers. When you have high self-esteem, you have a drive to express yourself and to communicate openly and honestly about your needs and desires. You choose healthy relationships and you recognize the value of these relationships. You treat others with respect, non-judgmental attitude, and fairness. When I want to feel strong and more self-assured, I sometimes consciously choose to wear the solar plexus color and really eat it as well. So bananas, baburo bananas. Pineapple actually attacks your antibodies, so pineapple is not the wave. So sorry ladies who like to get the yanni. Smelling and tasting a little more fruitful with the pineapple is actually really bad for your body. And yeah, that's about it. The solar plexus is again ruled by the sun, so the more you're in the sun, the more you're in nature, the more filled your solar plexus is going to be, the more willpower you're going to be filled with. So if you're someone that has a lot of issues or complications with filling up that solar plexus and utilizing it in the most positive way that you can, the best people to keep around you is a Leo and an Aries, because we're both very straightforward and we're all about getting things done, getting through decisions, properly utilizing your decision making, and just again getting things done. So if you have issues with getting things done and getting through processes, making positive decisions or sticking to decisions, the best person to keep around you especially is a Leo, because we are ruled by the sun. We come boosted with energy. Granted, we're lazy 90% of the time, but even in that 90%, we still get things done. And when we do really want to get something done, we get it done, and we get it done organized, efficiently, and effectively. So keep Leos around you. I'm personally a Leo, so I'm speaking from experience. And yeah, let's get this solar plexus working. Let's absorb that color. Let's meditate on the color. Let's bring more joy and high vibrational frequency to our lives through the solar plexus. Also, making sure you sit up straight. Not sitting up straight is a sign that your core is not strong enough to support your body. So I tend to slouch a lot too, so that's a bad habit of my own. So what really helps with that is yoga. So if you also want to bring in more physical energy as well, yoga and Pilates is a really great way to do it because of different positionings and flow of breathing and allowing really focuses on that solar plexus and helps build your core and helps build your personality and your willpower. Yoga, personally for me, has amazing effects on my willpower. So again, I'm speaking from experience. Let's do more yoga, not just working out and lifting weights and, you know, heavy things. Let's also focus on being more grounded and more relaxed too with how we release and absorb energy into our bodies. So with that being said, guys, I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that the other 2 videos about the other chakras were also helpful for you. Next up is going to be the heart chakra. Please, let's do more research. Let's open these chakras. Again, if you want to know your positionings in your chakras, one of the best things that I use is the free chakra test online. It is very accurate. I use it with clients. It's very accurate. I will again post the link in the bio of this video. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.